welcome back to Ditchwater, aka our primary island in Anno 1800. Now, where we left off, we were just about to pay the money to release this political prisoner. So we're going to pay his bail to get him out, and now we've got to grab this prison ship. Now, the excavation site, on the other hand, is well on the way. Let's finish the phase, and we're just missing that guy. And then that will get us access to the iron and the coal and the oil springs. Okay, the flagship is on the way. And what's our goal here? I probably want to move some of these wheat farms off somewhere else. It would also be good if we could get a production boost for the wheat farms so that they took up less space. That would be something really nice for it. In fact, I am tempted to boost the productivity of wheat farms so that we can have less of them, because that basically means every 2 wheat farms is worth 3 wheat farms if we boost the productivity. That does hurt the happiness of our people, but I think that's worth doing. I think so. That'll mean we'll have an excess of wheat over time to fuel our silos. Silos needed. I am going to set the minimum stock of coal to 10. And that'll just mean that my ships will always leave us with a little bit in stockpile. So yeah, we're mostly waiting for the steel. We need the steel to make soap factories. We could use another pig farm. So let's copy this pig farm and we'll squeeze it in over here. All right, I love how he dropped him off with all of his explosives. Amazing. All right, so we got the prison guy. Hey, I'm treating you like a human being. I got you out of prison, bro. All right, let's blow this. It'll take a couple minutes, but we will blow this now. We're just waiting for the delivery of what's his face. The difference is you're not in prison, bro. That's the difference. So I could use a pair of rendering works. Now these produce tallow every 1 minute. This pig farm will produce 2 pigs every minute because it has the wheat boost. It will take some time for it to get up to full productivity. Right. Thanks. Let's get a pair of rendering works, and then we'll save up for the soap factory. Oh, don't build that there. So we're going to start making tallow, and my condor here, I think I'm going to go send it to pick up some steel from the prison. This warehouse is overloaded, so I'm going to give it a loading ramp. It'll make it better able to keep up with the demands of it. It is quite expensive though, because it increases the warehouse maintenance by a huge amount. Okay, so we're ready to finalize the excavation site. Let's ignite the fuse. People want to see the explosives, dude. Come on now. I want to go see something blow up.
The perimeter cleared. We are ready to detonate. Boom.
Kaplooey! I don't think I saw that foreman get out of the way, by the way. I just want to be clear. No, there is nothing that dynamite won't solve. Dynamite can solve anything. Okay, perfect. So we should be ready to start warship manufacturing for the Queen. However, I don't think we're quite ready to go there. I think we need to get our soap supply up for the coins. And we also may wish to consider getting beer up, because that's worth 10 coins, worth a lot of money. Now, hops is produced over here on this island. So I'm thinking we could do a relatively small island. Now we're going to need some wood. So let me come on over. I also wanted to buy a little bit of steel, which I will do because I need steel to make the actual soap factory. So I'll just wait for my flagship to get back with the steel in tow. I'm going to queue up a nice path for this schooner, just to do a little bit of exploration to make the map cleaner for me. Now, the interesting thing is we could buy coal from Eli Bleakworth's harbor and sell it here for a profit. And that would be a small but profitable trade route. And since this ship is not using its full capacity, I think what I will do is actually add that. So I'm going to head to Wormway's prison and I will load coal, which will then go get unloaded at High Clarence Hall. So now our ship will go to Ditchwater, pick up coal, then go to Wormway's prison to buy coal, which it will then sell to High Clarence Hall for a profit of 12 per coal. So we should be making a slightly more profitable route, making use of this ship's transport capabilities. It's not the most profitable trade route, but the ship only costs 15 maintenance and it gets a little bit of cash flowing through the veins of our economy. I don't know if diplomacy matters with these guys, but I must assume that trading with them might actually improve our relationship as well. Okay, so we need a decent amount of timber to kickstart the next island. So I'll deposit this and I'll bring like 75 timber that we will bring over here. We're going to start a little farming island. And this schooner is still doing the exploration for me. One of my distilleries exploded and a fire broke out. It's a little bit unfortunate. Let's make sure we build brick roads to connect things. Brick roads help. So my schooner is on the way with 19 coal. It will then buy coal from this nerd and then sell it here for a decent profit. Again, it's not the biggest profit, but it makes use of the ship. Let's deposit these planks in here. Perfect. Now, another good way for us to make money from this island would be to just mass produce potatoes, although it does not actually have potato fertility, so that's not necessarily what we want. We're going to start with beer production. We're probably going to want to set up a market and stuff like that. Well, let's do it. So we need the market. We need the market surrounded by housing. We'll probably need at least 10 houses in order to produce enough workers on here for a hop farm. For every hop farm, it produces 1 hop every minute 30, and the beer uses a hop every minute. So 2 hop farms would produce a hop every 45 seconds, which would just about supply a brewery. 3 hop farms would produce a hop every 30 seconds, which would supply 2 breweries. So I think we want 3 hop farms and 2 breweries. I think that is the ratio that we want to go for, but we'll probably just start with 1 brewery for now. We're gonna want another warehouse. I'm out of money, so we need to chill a bit and wait for these trades to fulfill. So he's full of coal, and ideally we should get about 100 times 32 is 3,200 from this sale. I think it might also be good if we were to set up a woodworking zone. I think a single timber production chain will do the job. It'll cost 15 workers and 20 money per minute or whatever the ratio is. All right, let's move these 2 into a nice position. That's not where I wanted them. Right there. So now we'll have a small amount of timber production. We will say minimum stock 20, buy and sell up to 50. Okay, we need to renovate these 2 sawmills and the schnapps distillery and the potato farm. A little bit of a fire issue. We'll deal more with fire issues over time. We only have a single fire station, but it's all we can really afford at the moment. When you're playing on hard mode, it's hard to get the money. So what is this you've discovered over here? A quest. This is Madame Kahina's harbor. She'll buy pretty much anything. Well, that's great. What's this quest? She wants a delivery quest. Got it. She wants me to pick up the bounteous clipper crates. Admiral Vicente Silva introduces himself. That's this guy who lives on this island. Very cool. All right, let's pick up the cargo. We've got the crates, and now where do they need to be delivered? All the way over here. Okay. Go for it, little schooner. All right, so back to this location. They need fish. Let's get them fish. Fish is on the way. That will increase the population as well as the tax rate. Admiral, ooh, a war has broken out. Well, that's kind of cool. And there is pirates in the area. We need to watch out for those. They're very fast. Our little trade schooner is on its way to the prison again. It's good to see. We'll pick up all the resources that we need. So now that fish is being supplied, we will have more. Ah, yes. Okay, so you wanted me to deliver this to where? Okay, to here. We deliver. Nice injection of cash. Also, we have a quest over here too. Just going to send this schooner on a random exploration goal. Now, I actually need to get the soap factory up, as was planned. The soap factory will get us the soap need met, which is going to be +2 workers per house, plus an extra +4 coins, which is great. Yes, the money is coming from the trade. Excellent. We're filling our coffers. Let's grab ourselves another few farmers' residences here. And the idea behind this is that it will give us extra workers and consumption. Bro, you can't just upset my workers. I need to edit this. I gotta at least neutralize the happiness. Just a one little edit. Not a big edit. Alternative facts. Listen, I just wanted to have a more balanced view of the news. Just a little balance. That's all I was asking for. So this is now a village, and the people are going to be hungry for work clothes. Work clothes should be easy to supply. And so if we do the maths on this, we have 20 houses. 20 houses being supplied with coins is worth 60. So this will just about pay for itself, this production line. I will, however, add an extra small warehouse just to manage the loading and unloading of goods. And it may be good for me to add another 10 to 20 houses. All right, we added a bunch of farmers, so they're going to consume goods and provide us with workforce. And now we need to start the production of hops. So let's go with 1 to 3 hop farms, like we said. Then we'll build nice long hop fields. This is the reason why we created this town was for the hops. We will need to deliver some schnapps, and we need to get a pub in here. The pub is potentially worth a happiness. We need at least 20 houses to make the pub worth it. So here's what we'll do. We'll use the movement tool to move these houses over. Then we will delete these houses in favor of building the pub here, like so. And then we'll refill with a couple of houses. And the pub will make these guys happier. So in terms of consumer goods on this particular island, we are good on clothes, good on fish. We just need to get schnapps. Get schnapps over here. How much schnapps are we producing on this island? Okay, we would need to add some schnapps lines so that we could then deliver them. All right, I'm going to build myself another schooner so that we can use that for delivery. We also need to make sure that we're selling off excess bricks. Like, I don't see a reason, like if we're above 75, I don't think we need, like 100 bricks is so many. Can't consume bricks that quickly, you know what I mean? Perfect, we got ourselves another schooner. We are going to create a trade route between our main island and Monroe's Isles. We want to load schnapps on this island, deliver schnapps here, and then load hops on this island and deliver schnapps here. This is just going to be a very simple trade route. We're not going to add like discarding cargo. This is just to distribute goods between these two islands. That's all we needed to do. And we're going to call this schnapps for hops, or hoppin' for schnapps. There we go. I like that. I always like to give my trade routes kind of silly names. It makes them easier to remember what the hell they do. So hopping for schnapps and coal for the queen. Those are our two trade routes. Now, since we're producing, excess, we're going to need to set up maybe another potato farm or two. Maybe it's time to have an investigation as to, is this really the most efficient way for us to use our potato farms? Perhaps we could set up a potato farming zone over here. We're going to need at least another one of these. Tell you what we'll do. I'm going to do the grabbies. I'm going to move all this over here. Then I got to rebuild the road I just destroyed. Now, let's grab you. We are going to delete all the farm fields. A temporary measure, I promise. And we're going to try to make use of these farms to fill in this kind of like edge of the island, which is what farms are good for doing. I'll move the schnapps over here. I think it is actually important that everything is connected. I don't remember if that's like a thing, but whatever, we'll make sure it happens. Let's do the exact same thing with this guy. Delete all of his farm fields, move them up, fill in the gaps, like so. We'll get another one. You can see how we're using up all this kind of fiddly little bits of land. Now, put the warehouse there, and the pair of schnapps here. We will need another schnapps. So let's duplicate that. We're also going to need, it's probably a good idea for us to put a fire station over here to keep everything above board. And I'm going to upgrade the warehouse. So you can see we've made kind of use of this edge here, which is a relatively efficient use of these farms. And we can continue to make use of these edges, these kind of fiddly little edges. What I'm also going to do is, because I'm a benevolent ruler, I'm going to upgrade all the roads to brick in the nearby area. And that will give these guys a speed boost for delivery and stuff like that. I'll even add an extra potato farm just so we have an excess of potatoes. Okay, perfect. Production for schnapps has kicked in. We're now making a positive of 4 per cycle. On the potato front, we're making a positive of 3. So we have a little bit of spare potatoage, which means we can set up a buy-sell order. I'm also going to set a minimum stock of this to 25, just so we have a little bit of schnapps in store. I'm going to set the buy-sell order for potatoes at like 50. It'll take a while for that to build up, but that's okay. Yeah, you're going to be a little bit overloaded, this warehouse. Maybe I should add another. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to speed up time and just observe it for a minute to see how it does. Because long as production doesn't fall, I think it's fine. I like to see the schnapps getting delivered here. People are going to start getting happy. Very good, very good. And that should mean that there's hops on the way back. Let's have a look. Do we have the hops in store? Yes, we do. Incredible. Now, we know for a fact that we're producing enough hops to fill a brewery, 2 breweries. But we also need to start thinking about what the hell are we going to do with these wheat farms? And we kind of need to do what we did with the potato farms, but maybe over on this sort of area of the island. This is a good spot for a potential extra, let's see. Can I add a coastal warehouse? I might be able to add another coastal warehouse. So I'm thinking this area might be good to do a bunch of wheat farming on. It's all relatively hard to utilize land. So let's take a look at the wheat productivity of this island. We're producing 5 and consuming 3. If we start a beer production, we need 2 grain farms to fuel a malt, and 1 malt can fuel 2 breweries. So I think we're going to start with the grain farms right there. The idea here is we have a relatively straight road with a warehouse nearby. Can we make this straight road actually marry up? We could. So let's do it that way. Oh, he doesn't like me as much. Well, not much I can do about that. Or rather, there's not much I want to do about that. Okay, so this is the furthest to the left I can get a wheat farm. I'm going to fill like this. Perfect. Now I was saying I need 2 grain farms. Oh! He declared war on me. Okay, well that's a problem. We'll need to... Listen, I got other fish to fry. Maybe not bigger. I'm a little busy. So that's 2 wheat farms. That will fuel the malt house. Although maintenance is going to be a problem if we do that. Jesus. We'll need to make use of this depot. We'll need to figure out how to defend ourselves. It'll take some time. Listen, I gotta make beer for my people first. Okay. We have a single brewery up, and hopefully once the supplies are delivered. Now wait, what color is Alfonso Graves? Hold on. So that's this guy. He's the Black Flag. So that's this guy, the Garden of Sin. Yeah, so he's mad at me. That's fine. Once this beer is up and running, like the malt house is done, you know what? I may have to pump up the productivity of these. I know you've run out of gubbins. Listen, we're working on it. I'm going to pump up the productivity of the malt house and the brewery in the hope that this will get me the beer. And beer is worth 10 coins per worker house, which is huge. Beer is under production. I'm very happy with that. We're about to sell off some coal. I'm going to sell this schooner as it is a quest. Might be good for me to continue to produce schooners to sell. Okay, the beer is starting to kick in. Yes, my people are getting beer. Come on. I do need to expand my population a bit. Before we do that, let's check the consumer good production on this island. Consumer goods. So we're light on fish. We would need to increase sausage production. Soap is good right now. Fish is cheap and easy to expand. We probably need some work clothes eventually. Okay, so first things first, let's get an extra fish house. And then I'll put a warehouse here for the better deliveries. And I may need to consider an extra market before we just add a ton of houses. Okay, here we go. Adding population. If you're ever having issues, increase the size of your population so that you can make more tax from them. We got another ship constructed. We can go sell it to this guy. He also has a quest, a destruction quest. Destroy this frigate. I do not know if our flagship can beat a frigate. And I have not yet started to produce gunboats because I'm trying to get my economy stabilized. All right, let's destroy this wheat farm so that we can rebuild it over here in the wheat farming area as we intended. And then we're going to destroy these 2 wheat farms as well. So we can add another 1. Build your little farming zone like so. Copy it one more time. Hopefully this will fill this area. Doesn't quite fill it. That's okay. And we will add another warehouse to handle deliveries in the area. So we've moved our wheat production over here. We probably want to move our wheat consumption over here, which is the flour mill. And then the bakery for the flour mills need to come over here as well.
I feel it reflects the times.
And we'll probably need another warehouse to support all of these new buildings. A new newspaper. Riot chants. Oh, come on, dude. Let's do hypnosis. Here you go. All I'm doing is like 1 or 2 little editorial decisions, you know? Like, it's just like, what's wrong with some propaganda? Everybody does propaganda, okay? Everybody. If you're not using propaganda, you're a liar. So we've moved our wheat production over here, and we'll maybe fit some more farms here. But yeah, this is nice. Nice and efficient because the wheat will get delivered straight to the places that it wants to go. What's our beer production relative to our beer consumption? Okay, so we're good on beer. Generally speaking, we're actually in good shape. Even our work clothes are in good shape, although we may want to expand that eventually. Oh, I wanted to sell this. Run, schooner. Yeah, we need to start making gunboats. I was just about to sell this. Son of a gun. Now, I don't know if my flagship will win this fight, but I'm going to tell it to fight. And I think now is the time that we start thinking about getting a weapon production line up. So iron mines cost 50-50, and they produce iron every 15 seconds. I am not trying to just impress my father. I'm avenging him. Okay, we took that guy out. Now, I don't know how to repair these, but that guy's going to be mad that I killed his ships. Oh, there's loot. What are this? A blunted bone saw and some pigs. Listen, buddy, can you buy my pigs? I'm going to keep that bone saw as a... That's a trophy of warfare. Okay, so we need a warehouse for the iron. We also need a furnace to smelt the iron, and then a steel works to produce the steel. We don't have the money for that yet. We need more pops. Let's upgrade a few more houses. That will hopefully lead to more goods consumption. Yeah, perfect. So now we can afford a steel works, and I'm also going to place a weapon factory right there. So it's a pretty crappy steel production line, but it will get us steel and weapons going. We'll fix it up later. All right, let's have a look at the production. Oh wow, we got pigs to sell. We don't need that many sales, honestly. We don't need that much bread. Mass producing soap to sell at the prison over here would be the next step for me, but I got war declared on me. I got some stuff going on. That's what I want to do. What I want to be doing is mass producing a soap to sell, because this would make us like a ridiculous amount of money, but it's not possible right now. Our ship got wrapped up, hanging out here. Can you deposit this? I don't know what the purpose of this is. I'm going to send my flagship to go pick up some steel from the Queen. Maybe even pick up some timber because it's cheap. Okay, so we got plenty of iron being produced. We could add another... Well, I don't have the income, so I need to chill. That's the problem. The problem is income, not desire. I could... They really don't like the productivity boost at the steel mill because of the amount of workers that work in it. And working conditions are already tough for workers. Actually, workers are pretty happy. We'll leave it. So how are you guys doing? You got your schnapps. You guys are happy as hell. Perfect. You did exactly what I want you to do. Now, what we could do is set up a couple of coal deposits here. Now, coal takes artisans. So it might be an eventually kind of thing, but definitely not what we need right now. So we're just going to chill. So I keep seeing pop-ups for people like buying shares in each other, and I don't actually know how that works. All right, so we're going to buy ourselves a little bit of iron, a little bit of wood, just to kickstart our weapons industry. I've got a schooner to sell to Archibald, and I'll start production of another. Now let's deliver the steel and the wood, and then we will deliver this weapon factory. Good job, Hannah. So once we have the weaponry, we can start producing gunboats. So schooners have 100 hit points. Gunboats have 850 to do 21 damage per second. Yeah, but want to make a couple of gunboats. We also want to build a school so that we can pump up these workers to being happy. So a school right here would make my workers a lot happier. And so we shall do it. And now the need for school is fulfilled, we'll be able to upgrade our residents to the next tier, getting us access to the artisan tier, I think. All right, let's pick up whatever we have in excess to trade. Just got a few random resources that we can go deposit here. You are going to be sold. Boom. Sold a schooner. We have another schooner that we can sell. It's a good way to make a little bit of cash. So the pigs are worth 400. The bread is worth like a lot. All right, there we go. We got a nice injection of cash from that trade. That's perfect. No, Lady Margaret, I'm here to chill. Lady Margaret? Is that appropriate speech from a woman of your capacity? I would never imagine pinning you down. Jesus. So we need more steel production so that we can get more weapon production, or rather we need more iron production. So let's get the iron here. And with that iron production, we may wish to consider a warehouse upgrade. It's honestly cheaper just to add another warehouse. Warehouse upgrades are crazy expensive. Okay, what is causing the dip? All right, let's upgrade our residents to the next tier. Now we have artisans. They want canned food, sewing machines, universities, fur coats. We're in the age of fine craftsmanship. They want a variety theater. So what have we unlocked? Actually, I want to take a look at the lifestyle needs. Anne Harlow. Look, Anne, I'm not trying to start anything with you. I'm trying to be chill. So they want rum, hot sauce, and beef. I think we could produce beef to make a lot of money from our workers. That shouldn't be too hard, honestly. So yeah, we can produce one beef every 2 minutes, which we could then fulfill a lifestyle need. We can't make peppers here, but I think cattle farms would go a decent way. Let me see, what's our wheat production? Wheat production is complete. It's 6 to 8, so we have a bit of a surplus. Start a cattle farm. I'm trying to figure out how we position the cattle farm to make sense. Something like this makes it relatively square. Okay, I like it. Let's shift it over here. And then it needs a warehouse for sure, because this cattle is being produced, or rather this... Oh, a riot! Damn it, where? Shoot. All right, we'll make a police station. It'll cost us. God damn it. All right, we've got a couple of cattle farms. They're starting to get up and running. Do we want to overwork them? I think we do. We don't necessarily want to overwork them, actually. Changed my mind on that one. But we do want to talk to our workers and start distributing food, because that's 5 coins per house. distributing that meat. Sell this schooner. Almost got the guns for another gunboat. Copy the weapons manufactory. So as the beef rolls in for these guys, yeah, we're getting those coins in now. And I think that actually becomes a net positive. Yeah, it's already valuable, which is fantastic. We're over-consuming potatoes right now because there's potato riots, and we're slightly over-consuming both sausages and work clothes. So we will need to up the work clothes production. I know a simple way of doing this. We add a silo to the sheep farm, and then we add a work clothery. Do me a favor, pick up some soap and go sell it at the prison so that we can make a little bit of cash, because we're a little cash poor right now. Nice. We dealt with the strike and we have a police station now. Didn't want one, but it is what it is. We're going to need to start producing windows. Our workers' needs are basically fulfilled. We're low on farmers. We could start supplying farmers with flour and soap, or we could just get more farmers because we're low on workforce. You've got no pub over here, so let me grab you a pub. Get you a few houses, as is expected of us. And for the sake of just having a better town, I'm also going to upgrade the roads a little so the market reaches further. So we're good on beer. We definitely need to up sausage production. So that's going to be the next step for us. How are you coping? You seem to be coping. Quick check of the wheat. Plenty of wheat surplus so that we can fuel a pig farm. So let's grab ourselves this pig farm, plonk it right there. These are then turned into sausages. We shall duplicate the sausagery, and then we'll have a little bit of surplus sausage. Let me tell you what I don't have of when I'm hanging out with your mom. It's a surplus of sausage. All right, we're going to sell off our soap for a tidy 19,000. Yeah, I think setting up the soap line would actually be really good for our income, because he'll pretty much buy all the soap that we can produce. Can't wait to get rid of these charcoal kilns. And I think, let's see, canned food. So what's my quest? Let's work on our quest. So I need 2 gunboats. Well, I can start one, and it'll take a couple minutes to build. You also want me to build a frigate? Yeah, we just have to wait for the guns to come in. Yeah, I'm sorry, I failed your quest. You asked me to blow something up, and I only got like a basic ship right now, okay? I'm still learning the game, man. Okay, steel is very expensive. Is it worth it for us to set up a flour consumption for our workers? You know, I'm a benevolent ruler. I like my people to be happy, and so I'm gonna set up a flour line for them. So I'm going to put a flour mill here, a wheat farm right there, shabam. And the goal here, the flour mill is not overworking. We need, I think it was 2 wheat farms to match the input cost of a flour mill. Let me see. Yeah, but we are overworking the wheat farm, so that's something to think about. Let's add another one, just for redundancies and safety's sake. Perfect. I love this little farming area. It makes me happy. It makes me happy to see this kind of thing. The space efficiency of it all. Laying down the nice brick. Can I just use the upgrade tool on path, actually? You can. That's amazing. We built another ship. That's good. I don't know if this is enough flour. I'm probably going to want another flour mill, which means I'm probably going to want another wheat farm. And so now I think I can come to my workers and say, hey, you guys are allowed to have flour. This should, in theory, mean that we slowly generate a profit from this flour. Yeah, you can see slowly it fills up. So now this is paying for itself, which is fantastic, because it's also leading to these guys being a little bit happier. I'd like to do the same with the soap. Okay, the Mother Goose gunboat is being sent to be sold. I'm also coming in here to build a gunboat, another one, because I believe my quest is to sell 2 gunboats and a frigate. So we are getting close to our quest success. Oh boy. Now, before I activate soap consumption on these guys, I do want to actually check. Okay, we've got plenty of soap surplus production. So I'm going to tell these guys, you're also allowed to have soap. And we're going to watch as the soap trend climbs up, but also we start to make a little bit more money from this. All right, we got a gunboat in position. We can sell it for 6.5k. Beautiful. Now, my question is, where the hell do I get red peppers? There we go. This island right here. All right, I need you to pick up. I think it's 10 of these plus a load of these, and we'll be able to go get ourselves some red peppers. It's even got like a little bit of coal and hops. Very nice. But yeah, we want those red peppers because fulfilling the need for canned goods will make these people really happy. We are also going to need to build windows. Let's upgrade the houses around the church. These guys pay 12 coins for sausages, whereas these guys pay 4. Damn, upgrading is powerful. She wants me a collection quest. You want me to pick up the flotsam? I'll work on that in a moment. Oh, this island is like in battle. Yeah, we need to get up our steel production. But so upgrading these houses is actually really valuable. I didn't really know that that's how that worked, that the higher tier people pay more for the same goods. Ooh, the canal to the Land of Lions is open. Very nice. So we need to complete an expedition to the Land of the Lions. An unpopulated island. I'm going to build my trading post here to get control of it. Let's have a look at the expedition. So, indeed, a new region would be the potential reward. Sending a gunboat would probably be the right move, but I'm not ready to do that expedition. I'm busy. Oh, he's selling a frigate. If I were to buy the frigate and then sell it back to him, we would instantly finish our quest without having to create a frigate. That's what we call money laundering. I might just build a frigate though. It'd be really funny to do that though. You haven't missed another appointment, good sir. So, we're going to sell the Neptuno. Could you purchase this for me, please? There we go. Then we're going to buy this ship. Thank you, Mr. Ticker. I really appreciate you. But then I'm going to sell him this ship. So I just did some money laundering to finish my quest. It cost me 10k, but it worked. I'm going to build, let's see, open sea travel speed. My father was murdered. His cellmate. He's preparing to flee to the new world? That is completely unacceptable. We are going to investigate the hell out of this and bring my father's murderer to justice. All right, soap check. Consumption of soap is very, very mild right now. What about flour check? Yeah, we're consuming a decent amount of flour. Oh, medium harbor. Oh, a flame tower. Does that mean I should have other? Yes, we can now build mounted guns to defend our places. Attacks and slows over medium range, long range, airships. That's so cool. The harbor design stuff in Anno is really, really cool. We probably just want to get mounted guns for now. Now the question is, do I want to send a flagship on an expedition? So he's got 20 naval power, 10 navigation. You've got 10, 20. You've got 20. I think I'm going to build a gunboat for my expedition. Oh man, these guys love beer. I need more steel. I'm only producing... Oh, my flagship's being attacked. Don't let them get you for free. You kill his gunboat, make him suffer. Yeah, get him. Go steal that flotsam. Oh, 19 cannons. Those are valuable. Now, if I'm going to produce more steel, am I producing enough iron? I have a surplus of iron, so I could build another steel mill. However, it's a lot of workers and a lot of maintenance. So let's see if we can't upgrade. Well, I definitely want to upgrade some of these worker residences because they're very valuable. Okay, so I'll upgrade a few of those in the center area. I like to upgrade in a sort of, I wouldn't call it radial pattern, but kind of vaguely like have the nice houses towards like the main service building area where like the church is. You can see like this is prime real estate. It just feels right to me to do that. Now we have tanked our farmer workforce, so we need a little bit of that. I bet my island is ugly as hell. Yep, pollution, vulgarity, instability. I don't know how to get my attractiveness up. I assume it's by placing these things. Airship monument. Ooh. Yeah. I know we don't have enough workers. We're working on it. Promise. Awesome. So we have a gunship now. I feel like I can do the expedition. So I don't know what affects morale. Let's turn in this wreckage for a little bit of cash from Milady Margaret Hunt. And then we'll go investigate this quest and we'll start an expedition. I wish I knew what morale was. Navigation is almost certain. Ooh, crafting, medicine. If we bring fish, what would be a boost to diplomacy? If we bring potatoes, whereas bread would give us faith. I'm just gonna put potatoes, start the expedition, we'll go explore. Our hand asked if you're ready to follow the smuggler's ship. Yes. What's the newspaper? Riot chance? Honestly, that's fine. You're good. Okay, we gotta follow this ship undetected. We gotta stay inside the big green circle, but out of the small green circle. NPC Escort Quest Deluxe Edition. We're starting to have big cash in stock, which is nice. I like that you get a little speed boost if you click on a ship. That's clever. Makes it easier to catch up. Where you going, little smuggler? Okay, I think we've arrived at the bay where this... Oh, it's like a little smuggler's harbor. Kill him! Oh, it's this guy. Oh, I'm surprised we could take this guy on. Guillemot, the Perforian Zealot. Damn, that is a cool looking ship. Get him. All right, we blew him up. Let's grab his loot. I kind of wish there was like an Anno RPG where you went around blowing stuff up. Ah, man, I gotta play that pirate game that Ubisoft made. The torch paper is already lit? No answers. All right, let's open our father's diary. Wormway's prison.
They want the island.
So Madame Kahina could help us with this. My island of prosperity is sold. That is all I can puzzle of my rest, and present circumstance shackled between these cold grey walls. Tomorrow I resolve to make my case against Mr. Bleakworth, who so cruelly refused me a proper explanation. Now I must try to sleep, but I can think of nothing but my poor Hannah, and the other, so far, distant. With daybreak comes clarity. Prosperity was sold to the infamous rebel Samento, and I must be the last to have heard of it. The Queen of the nation is up in arms, and that the jewel of the New World is lost. The guards from whom I can heard all thought me playing some trick. It is I who am tricked, duped of my island by persons unknown, although it can be only the same persons that came to me one ominous day, masked and embroidered with eldritch symbols. They pressed me towards a sail, but I shut the door hard, I tell you, and bid them good day, sir. A third night, and not the last. I have today begun the process of gathering evidence in my defense. Hannah was here, though they did not let her stay long. She gives me hope that a full and unmitigated pardon is possible. Years of loyalty count in my favor, but the very idea that I may have betrayed my queen weighs heavily upon me. Even if dark clouds of scandal pass, they may forever have damaged our family's prospects. I will avenge you, dear father. You will be avenged. But that will happen in the next episode of Anno 1800. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.